Yo, what's up, everybody? It's Emilio with LRC. Today is day 4 of the 31 Days of Character Creation Challenge, and today's prompt is the word spot. So let's start rolling. D10 for Ancestry, Elf Ancestry, D10 for Culture. This is 7, Orc Culture, Elf Ancestry, Orc Culture. Okay. D12 for Class is a 4, it's a Druid. Interesting. Our background, a D20, is an 18. That's an Urchin. Okay. And last but not least, gender, D4, is female. So we've got an elf ancestry, orc culture, druid, who was an urchin and is a female. Um, so urchin stories are pretty typical, and they always feel a little cliche to me. So I'm going to try to think of a way to make this a bit more original. So let's start with the elf orc piece. So for a person of elf ancestry to get to an orc culture, traditionally those two cultures would have had some tension or conflict. But I think that maybe in this case, let's say that there was an elf family that decided to abandon an elf city that they felt was too restrictive, that didn't let them have the kinds of freedoms that they wanted, and so made their way to an orc culture, where something tragic happened. The parents were killed in a freak accident on the street. A cart was shipping turnips and just didn't see them, couldn't stop in time, ran them over, leaving our young elf ancestry character without parents and orphaned on the street. So growing up in an orc city as an urchin. So they had to learn to be tough. Orc culture, if you look at the ancestry and culture supplement, tends to value physical strength, prowess, things like that, and so they would have had to kind of learn to be tough and take care of themselves. Now, the druid piece, I'm gonna have to figure out where that comes in. I'm not sure what to do with that yet. But let's roll her ability scores and see what she is good at. So we're rolling 4d6, dropping the lowest. Strength roll is a 14. Dex is an 8. Ooh, not too dexy. Constitution 11. Intelligence is a 13. Wisdom is a 13 as well. And charisma is another 13. Wow. Okay, so 14 strength, 8 dexterity, 11 constitution, 13 intelligence, 13 wisdom, and 13 charisma. So pretty decent scores most of the way, except for dexterity. So they're not very nimble. Okay, and they're a druid in an orc culture. Okay, all right. This is a revenge story. This person, as an urchin, they were also injured in that accident when they were just a child, that led them to be orphaned. That's how we account for their poor dexterities. They have a scar across their midsection that makes it difficult for them to move quickly. After that accident, they actually left the orc town where they had been growing up, and ended up going out to a small sort of surrounding community where they begged on the streets and managed to carve out a living, although it was very difficult. Because this town was sort of smaller settlement outside of the York town, was close to a forested area. They would take trips out into the forest. This was kind of their alone time, their refuge, their sanctuary. And when they would do that, they would there was this pond that they would find where frogs lived, and they would go and speak with the frogs and try to sing to them. And eventually, the frogs actually started to come around and appreciate this person who would come to support them. And so our our elf ancestry character now is leading an army of frogs to deal with all of the turnip farmers in the area as a way to get revenge for the 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 unfortunate accident that led to her parents' death. Now, our prompt for today was the word spot. Um, so let's work that in. So I think that a characteristic of this character is that she has. Oh, okay. Here we go. The injury that she had in the cart accident, it didn't leave a scar. It left a large black spot on her body, which is a constant reminder of the trauma that she went through. And so that's our character. Her name now is, I forgot to do a name last time. Um, well, elf ancestry, druid, urchin. Um, I want something that sounds weight. Um, Her name is Anabelle Feathertoe. I don't know if I love that name, but that's what we got. Day 4. Thanks, everybody.